Welcome back to Movement Monday, everybody. Coach Mike,
Coach Violet.
and we're here giving you a recap on Violet's most recent screen. Welcome back to Movement Monday, your source for intelligent training. This is Results Driven Fitness Systems, and I hope you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you're not, subscribe or follow us. We're happy to meet you, and we hope we can help you get fit. You're part of our community if you're watching this, so welcome. We're here with Coach Violet, and we wanted to go over her most recent screen. So, Violet, can you tell the people kind of how you started with our date?
In 2014, I started, I think it was the beginning of the year, maybe February, New Year, New You. And I had my first screen then. And it was very different then. I remember my first push-up with Ed. It was so funny. He must have taken 5 minutes to put me into position, and I just looked at him and laughed and said, I can't push up at all.
And you've come a long way since then. So
Yes.
Violet's one of our coaches here, and since that time in 2014, she's come to work here full time, and she's currently a Strong First Level 1 instructor, and she's also working towards her Strong First bodyweight course.
I think that's part of what makes the push-up so funny, is because in Strong First body weight course, you have to be able to do a one-arm push-up. I'm very close, so I've come a long way.
So one of the reasons that Violet got screened is she just hasn't been screened in a while. We recommend that clients, depending on their membership level here, get screened a certain amount of times per year, or with a certain amount of time between each screen, just to make sure that things are moving in the right direction. We also screen when there's any kind of weird pain or funkiness going on. That's just our general recommendation for our clients. So Violet hadn't been screened in a long time, and she has a special reason why she needed to be screened.
Yes, I have recently developed high blood pressure, and so my whole regimen of exercise needs to be changed. So to start with the screen, then we can be able to program.
So Violet sat down with Coach Ed earlier this week and went through her movement screen. The way that we approach the screen is based on the recommendations from the Functional Movement Systems company. First, we want to start with our mobility screens. So that's going to be our active straight leg raise and our shoulder mobility screens. The next screens are assessing trunk stability and rotary stability, and that's where we landed with Violet. So hips were clear, shoulders were clear, but then our trunk stability was good, but our rotary stability was off, and that's where we attacked. So Violet ended up through the screen. We found out that external rotation on her right side or left side?
Left side.
Yeah, the left side was a little bit funny, and her knee was coming off of the kit. So what's one of the stretches that Ed gave you?
I'm going to stretch on a box. I put my leg up on a box, and then I start to relax my knee. It was straight up and down. It was not going to fold. But after doing it even a short time, my knee has started to fold down a little bit further. I feel a comfort, like in my hips, that they don't feel as tight as they were.
So the tabletop 90-90 stretch that Ed gave Violet is to work on the mobility of her hip. After that, we want to lock down that mobility with 2 different stability exercises. So the first thing that we would want Violet to do after she does that external rotation exercise is a half kneel halo or something half kneel. After that, we want to do a dynamic stability exercise. So for Violet, that's going to be quadruped hip cars. Upper body is going to be still in this exercise, but the lower body is exploring the range of the hip. And we want Violet's body to learn how to control the new range of motion that she's developing with her 90-90 stretch on the box.
Now that my mobility screen has been completed, we can use this information to make a program for me that is going to allow me to exercise without putting my heart under any sort of stress, making my blood pressure go up. I guess things will be different once it's been determined what the actual problem is, but for right now, I don't want to wait and not be exercising. So we've chosen some simple things like farmer's carry and swing. I can squat, but using a lighter weight. I can still overhead press. Again, a lighter weight, more repetitions, just so I can keep on moving until I can go back to my regular routine.
And the few cool things there is that, just because blood pressure is off or there's some kind of health thing, obviously first thing is just making sure that a doctor says that you're medically cleared to exercise. So Violet went to her doctor. Her previous program was very high intensity and high tension. So she's working on a one-arm push-up. You can imagine how much tension you have to build in your body to not only be able to keep a plank with just one hand on the ground, but then to be able to pull your body to the ground and drive out of the bottom. That's a lot of intra-abdominal pressure. So the doctor said probably not a good idea to continue doing those kinds of exercises, but there's plenty of other stuff on the table. So squats and swings and presses would be typical strength training exercises, but they're just lower weights, higher reps, and less stress on Violet's heart.
My experience watching my clients, sometimes they're not able to progress in a move that they should be able to do by now. And the best thing to do at that point is to have them rescreened and find out, is there something stopping them? I saw it with a client of ours, and she was unable to squat. And just doing the mobility screening, she does the same exercises that have been recommended to me now, and she's doing a really good job. She could squat really far now. So I've seen it for myself that this works. I know that it's going to help put me on the right path.
And so that's just one last thing to kind of leave with, is that if if you work out on your own and you've just been having a hard time progressing from one movement to the next, or you've been squatting to a box but getting any lower in your squat is difficult, find somebody in your area that can do a functional movement screen. It might be something as easy as doing a stretch like Violet, where you're just stretching out the hip, and that might allow the hips to move a little bit more smoothly, and then you can squat safely going forward. So find somebody in your area who can do a functional movement screen for you. It has big benefits, and most of the time, I can at least speak for us, it's free to come in for a movement screen. So if you're in the area, visit resultsdrivenfs.com to find out more about where we are and what we do and how we help our community, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to keep up on all the helpful and glorious results-driven fitness systems content. So thank you for joining us, Violet.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time. Thank you.